Good morning and welcome. My name is Maria Rene Davila. I'm the founder of the 100 Successful Women in Business Network and the CEO for the Global Trade Chamber. The Success Story Show features amazing people from many countries sharing their stories, accomplishments, and challenges on their journeys to succeed.
Wow, that's a beautiful statement. This is Al Otero, the president of the Global Trade Chamber and the chairman of the 100 Successful Women Network and Events. Very busy time for us. We're very excited to have special people in our shows every week. Success Stories, which is broadcast worldwide, and we do interview amazing people from many countries, right?
Yes, that's absolutely true. And we are actually today having somebody that is in US.
Wow, back home.
Back home.
Well, we're very happy to have Dr. Randi Ward, that she is in the beautiful Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome, Dr. Randi.
Welcome, Dr. Randi.
Hello, how are you today?
From 1 to 10, 12.
Fantastic.
Hey, how are you?
Well, I'm recovering from knee surgery on Monday, but you can't stop. You got to keep moving. So that's what I'm doing.
That's Randi. That's Dr. Randi. That's why we love her. She doesn't stop. She's awesome.
So Dr. Randi, as you know, she's being featured in our 100, the 100 most successful women around the world book. Dr. Randi is going to be part as a contributor of the book.
Yes.
The book is going to be launched in June, and everybody's very excited about this book. She's being featured. She also received an award.
Oh, she's such a
and she's
part
everywhere.
of our family now. We adopted her.
I'm glad to be adopted. By the way, June 30th for the book launch is my birthday. So it's a double excitement for me.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Double celebration.
That's why you picked June 30th.
Exactly.
It has to be.
Fantastic. We wanted to learn about your organization to start this beautiful interview.
Okay, well, I started out as a retired English. I'm a language arts teacher for 37 years. So my journey into the entrepreneurship only started maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, to be honest with you, because I was a teacher. But after I retired, I went to Egypt to teach English as a second language and came home and decided after being in 60 countries that I needed to tell the story of a teacher living in a revolution. So I wrote my first book because I believed in me. My Egyptian fantasy came true and started my second career as a professional writer. Okay. So I had a very bad experience with my publisher. So I just decided just to write and not publish anymore. But I was published in other publications, other magazines and books with other authors. But as far as publishing my own, I didn't. But then the pandemic hit. And right before that, my husband of 47 years passed away from lung cancer. And I was totally devastated. I mean, I've never been depressed in my life because I'm always one of these people that smile all the time. As you can see, I love to smile. But I was devastated. So I got this opportunity to take some coaching courses. So between April of 2020 and July 1st, 2020, I became certified in 4 coaching things: life harmony coach, holistic emotional intelligence coach, NLP practitioner, and communication mastery certified. Well, I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this? So I decided, since I'm an English teacher and I taught writing for many years, that it would be a great opportunity to help people tell their stories. We all have stories, as you know, but many of us don't know how to tell our stories. So I have become a visionary book writing consulting coach. And since I could write grammar books, because I know where every comma should go, by the way, I'm also a master editor. So I've started my third career as a visionary coach and master editor. And by the way, since July of 2020, I have been fortunate to edit 2 international best-selling books already. So I'm very proud of that.
Wow. Tell us more about what is a visionary coach.
Just someone that helps their clients see beyond the obvious. In other words, I help them to search deep down into themselves to find out what it is that happened in your life that made you the woman or the man that you are today. Because many people, they're amazing, but they don't know why they're amazing. I said, yes, you do. There are events in your life that happen that have created this person that you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I help them reach deep inside themselves, and through conversations, through my coaching experience, to pull out those stories, and then we put them in chapters so they can tell their story. And it really works.
That's amazing. Well, they need it. You know how many people
Yes.
today are stuck at home for a year,
Yes.
and they really don't know how to look into themselves to get more out of themselves.
Yes.
And a lot of
exactly.
people are, I think, oppressed because they're depressed. So they don't see themselves as, like Maria, I always tell her, you're the best, you're great. And she gives me $20, and I keep telling her.
That's great. That's great.
Only because it's Friday.
Only on Friday she puts up with me.
I don't think you're that hard to put up with, Al. Both of you are so amazing. I'm so glad to be your friends now.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Dr. Randi. And we're so very happy to have you on our network. We know that we're going to build a lot of things together, and also want to give a special thanks to Dr. Macaca. She's also amazing.
Yes.
And she's the one that actually introduced us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us more about the challenges that you went in your life.
Oh, well, I mean, physically, I've had a lot of challenges. As you said, I've just had knee surgery on my right knee. But at the age of 15, my left knee was injured in a gym class, and I literally did not walk for 5 years of my life. Literally. At age 19, I had surgery, and the surgeon botched the surgery, and I was paralyzed from the knee down. They told me I'd never walk again, but Randy never took no for an answer. So I taught myself, literally. It took me a year, but I taught myself. Throughout the years, I've had all kinds of problems with that left knee, and I was finally forced at the age in 2014 of having a knee replacement, and it went well, but I'm just tired of being bionic woman, so I didn't want to have another knee replacement. So with this knee that I'm having problems with now, I'm going to try stem cell. Also, 6 months after my knee replacement, I was involved in a horrible car accident, broke 8 bones in my body, including a C1, C2 fracture in my neck. I had 4 fractured ribs, 2 fractures in my left pelvis. I have an 8-inch plate and 6 pins in my arm. I had a collapsed left lung, lacerated spleen. Hey, 4 trauma doctors, 93 days in a neck brace, 8 months of physical therapy. You know what I did? I wrote a 400-page novel with my good hand.
Wow.
I mean,
that's an applause right there.
Well, you know,
you're still happy.
You're
still happy and positive. That's amazing.
Well, I could have sat there and felt sorry for myself, but what was that going to do? I would have wasted a year of my life. I decided, I traveled in my mind, got rid of the pain through my imagination, and wrote my novel. And that novel I will publish this year. That's going to be the first one I publish.
Okay. We need to get the book. We're going to read the book.
I'm going to promote it for you because that's a story that very few people can tell.
But what you're saying, Dr. Randi, is so important to have. Don't give up, number one. The second thing, and I don't know really the order, but you need to have faith and don't, let the situation put you down. And things that you're saying about the accidents you have in the past reminds me what challenges my mom went through, because actually she also had a terrible accident decades ago. She fell from the second floor and she was almost paralytic. She was not going to walk again. But I believe that was a miracle because after a treatment, she started walking again. Cool. And now I can really believe when I see her dancing again because she was not going to walk again. Yeah. But everything is about having faith, not letting the situation put you down. And, have that insight telling you something that don't give up, give up.
It's an inner drive that not many people have, and they don't have the support system around them to encourage and lift them up. I don't know if you had the type of people around you that were always there cheering you on, or is this pretty much by yourself?
No, I mean, my husband was my life, okay? And that's the reason it was so devastating. He was my cheerleader, my supporter. He was always in the background. He didn't want to be in the spotlight, but he put me in the spotlight. And in fact, he would always joke when he'd introduce himself, he'd go, "I'm Randy's husband," which I always thought was kind of sad because he was so amazing in his own right, but I'm Randy's husband. So yeah, my husband was my role model. My mother was my role model. She was also an amazing teacher. But I dreamed bigger than most people when I grew up. I came from a very small town in West Virginia, and I love my friends there. But be honest with you, I never felt like I belonged because I always wanted so much more than they were. They were happy, but I wanted more. And so my life philosophy, by the way, and it's copyrighted, is always believe in yourself, as you've said earlier, but also don't just dream big, dream bigger. The sky is the limit, so reach for the stars. And I realized that even though I grew up as a very shy child, when I gave my valedictorian speech in high school, it was about believing in yourself. And at that time, I really didn't believe in myself, you know? But when I met my husband after I graduated from Marsh University, and he convinced me that I could do anything I wanted, I took off and I've never stopped. I'm always reinventing myself, trying to decide what other skills I can use and give to the world. You know, I've been a teacher. I've taught through my words because all of my writing has to be inspirational. And I teach lessons. I teach through short stories for children, my novels, my poems, my blogs, my YouTube videos. Everything is inspirational. And even now as a coach, I'm teaching people how to write their stories and how to create their stories so that when they come out, the grammar is perfect, which is important to me as an English teacher.
Yes, of course.
Because I really am tired of reading books with a yellow marker in my hand, which I'm doing now. Isn't that crazy? Because I see so many mistakes.
Oh no, don't show our stuff.
We're going to send you our stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, seriously, I will do it. Send it to me. I will help you.
Oh, I like it. Okay, so we have our new editor.
For our magazine?
Yes, okay, I love it.
And I will do it for you for free, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Because I believe in what you're doing so much.
We'll include you in the magazine because you're going to help us.
Thank you so much.
So it's a win-win.
Talking about customers, clients, and all the services that you provide, how you are handling all this with the pandemic, how you connect with your customers?
Well, you know, being an editor, it's really easy because everything has to be done online anyway. And as far as meeting with the clients, we can either do Zoom, we can do phone calls, there's Messenger. That hasn't been a problem. That's really been easy for my business, you know. So I just make an appointment. What I usually do is I usually edit in the morning when I'm fresh. And then if I have appointments with my clients, I do them in the evening because most of them are working. And so, you know, they want to meet after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So that's perfect. And then the afternoon, I kind of do whatever I want because, you know, working at home, I make my own schedule. And since I'm supposed to be retired,
really,
yeah, I'm supposed to be retired. So I pretty much just do what I want to do. And like I said, I did this business. Be honest with you, I have a nice retirement. I don't need it for the money. I just get bored easily. And I have to do things. And so this was my way of helping people and making that little extra money to publish those books that I want to do. So I don't have to take money out of my savings.
Excellent.
And you also travel. Yeah, I believe that you travel to several countries, especially with Africa. You were involved in several activities. Tell us more about that.
Yes, I've been in 60 countries and God bless that I've been able to do all that. 4 continents, but Africa stole my heart. Egypt, of course, when I taught there during the revolution, I have many Egyptian friends, but I'm also an African animal advocate. I love African animals, and I work with Nor Santosian in Kenya with African Nomads Conservation. He's a young man that started this project when he was an agricultural student at his university in Nairobi, and now he's a game ranger in one of the parks there. But what we're trying to do is to save the endangered animals. And that's what African Nomads Conservation is about. So I'm the USA regional director for that. I help raise money. I do YouTube videos. I also, my husband and I made our last trip to Africa a few months before he passed away in 2019. And I connected with this man named Bonani in Zimbabwe when I walked with his 2 lions in Zimbabwe. called Line Encounter. Yes, I do crazy things like that. And now I'm going to help him once the band. Listen, I have played with cheetahs. I've ridden on camels. I've ridden on ostriches. I have no fear of animals. I know that's kind of crazy, but they seem to connect with me. And so my passion is.
They can feel it. You're right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you're like Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer. Wow.
What is your daily routine?
Well, I get up and I usually edit if I have an editing job. Right now, I'm doing an editing job for a woman who is the only survivor of this very rare breast cancer. They told her when they diagnosed it, just go home and get her papers in order. She has survived 10 years. And she's writing a book about this. Seriously, she was not supposed to be here. So I'm editing the book for her. I'm also editor for 3 magazines. One of them is called, it's from my mama's kitchen. It's called Inspirations for Better Living. It's going to be geared toward millennial moms. Our first issue came out for the Mother's Day edition. I'm also working with Dr. Carl Wilson. Some of you may know him.
I know Carl.
And I'm doing his All Women Rock magazine, which is coming out in August, plus his 3 black blazer, red blazer, and pink blazer books. I do that. I'm also the editor for a magazine called Morocco Pens. This one is kind of actually one of my favorites. I'll tell you why. It was done with my young friend, Ayub Katie, who's from Morocco that now lives in New York City. But what we do is we encourage non-native speakers to write in English. I edit their work and we put it in our magazines and they get to become published writers for free. Isn't that awesome? Teacher Randi loves that.
I guess you have nothing to do.
No, and she said that she does that after hours.
Spare time.
At the spare time. That's a full time.
I'm dizzy already.
Well, let's put it this way. I sleep well. I go to bed tired and I sleep well.
That's what you need.
I need that.
You need that. For her 2 children, sleep is a luxury, right?
Yes.
Everything is a process. I know that eventually when they are 20.
In college, you can sleep. And then they call you, Mom, my car won't start at 3 in the morning. It
doesn't end.
But
we are so impressed with everything that you accomplished so far and the things you're still doing because you have several projects that you are
just
developing.
getting started. She's just getting warmed up.
What would be the best advice you can give to entrepreneurs to start a business and then especially during this pandemic, how they can went through this crisis?
Okay, well, I suggest, connection is very important. You need to connect yourself with the same people with the same mindset as yours, okay? Build your email list. That's very important. I'm doing that. That's things that I have had to learn because, and then not just have an email list, but contact those people. Make that phone call. Make it personal. That's very important, because people need to know you. I also have a very busy Facebook schedule where I contact people and I'm talking to entrepreneurs and achievers, people that are achieving great things on Facebook. I'm in a lot of women's groups and men's groups, but mainly women's groups because, women are connecting and we're making changes in this world. Aren't we, Maria? We know that. Sorry, Al, but we are.
I had no idea. The one having women and Al.
But also, they have to know that failure is going to come. That everything's not going to work perfectly. And if it doesn't work the first time, you've got to pick yourself up and try again. That's the reason I keep reinventing myself. I mean, my writing career didn't go as I wanted it to. I wasn't a bestseller writing until 2020. And that was because I was in an anthology with some other ladies. But I never gave up. You have to keep moving forward and finding ways to achieve what you want to do. Dream bigger and make it happen. And so those are things that I think are very important. Also, like I said, update your skills, okay? Technology is changing constantly, and technology is where it's at. You have to be in technology. If you're not on Facebook and doing the Zoom and all that, you're probably not succeeding as much as you could be. So as much as technology can be a pain sometimes, it's one of those necessary evils that we have to keep maintaining our skills and updating them. So those are my suggestions. And like I said, I think they're very simple things to do. I mean, they're not difficult. You just have to keep doing them. You can't say, well, I'm tired today, I don't want to do it. I'm tired today too, but I keep doing every day a little bit more and a little bit more, and finding new ways to achieve what I want to achieve.
I love it. The consistency and consistency.
Yes.
Consistency and persistence.
Consistency and persistency.
Persistent.
Because what you need to do is, like you said, all the time you need to educate yourself, be on social media, check on the technology, what is going on. A few months ago, everything was about Zoom, but now more companies are launching, these platforms where you can actually have video conferences. And before it was just Zoom, but now people is using Microsoft Office, they Ring Central, and every day I hear new companies that are using different platforms to communicate, to do the video conferences.
So you have to stay up to date with what's going on, because if you're not, somebody's going to be way ahead of you because they found a better platform that does what you do better.
Yes.
So it's not just what you do, is how you present what you do, and Randy's great at that.
Yes.
Because if you don't look good, you're not going to get the attention of people, because there's 100 people trying to do what you're doing.
Yes.
But your image is everything, and Randy has a great image, I think.
Yeah, talking about image, tell us about the billboard that I saw on in New York. Yeah, Madison Square.
Okay, well, I've been a member of International Association of Top Professionals since 2017. I was named Top Professional in Language Arts, Female Visionary, Hall of Fame, inducted into their Lifetime Achievement Award. I was named Educator of the Decade in Language Arts in 2020, Empowered Woman. And so finally they said, you need to be on the billboard. I said, okay. So they put me on the billboard.
Unbelievable.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I actually cried that day because I wanted my husband to see that so much, but he would. I'm hoping somehow he knew. That was.
No, I know.
Because when you go to New York, you see that and you go, one day I want to be on that, and one day I was. It was amazing.
You did? Wow, that's amazing. Really, it is. And you as a life coach, a visionary coach, I believe that everything that you said is very important, because everything has to start from the inside before you start your business. If you really want to set your goals, you need to understand first who you are and how you're going to find happiness and peace, discipline before you start your business, because everything is about that. I mean, if you're not focused on what you're doing, you may lose track on the process. And that's one of the reasons that I believe 95% of the small business fail the first year.
Yeah, and they don't have realistic expectations. That's one of the things you touched on. You have to be ready for anything that comes your way. So realistic expectations is crucial, especially today. I mean, you come in one day into the office and you don't have a business, it ran out because you didn't have realistic expectations. So people need to think ahead, but also say, hey, there's going to be speed bumps. There's not going to be a rose garden all the time. The thorns. So there's a saying, you can't have a rose garden without thorns.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Marriage counseling. You can't have Did I say that? Oh, you can edit that. The one thing that I can tell you right now, from all the years that we've been doing business and talking to people, a lot of the coaches that I meet, their knowledge in qualifications is a course they went to coach.
Yes.
So don't tell me how to play tennis because you learned it from videos on YouTube.
Right.
What have you actually done? So you go beyond being the perfect example of what a coach is. It's your story. You are more qualified than a lot of coaches that really have just been home watching TV, reading videos, and learning how to coach and getting a certificate. And then they say they're a coach. But you can tell right away that these people are just selling you. But they don't really have the life experiences that Randy has, and very few people can say that. So I congratulate you because you are a perfect example of what a coach should be. And that's why you have awards.
And that is why, again, she's going to be featured
In the book,
book.
The Amazing 100 Successful Women, you notice, women book.
Dr. Randy, tell us why people should get the book.
Oh, it's because I know a lot of the women that are in this book, and they're so incredible. And their stories, remember, because I'm all about stories, their stories will inspire, they will touch your heart, they will teach you. This is a must book for everybody to read. I mean, I'm going to buy several copies and give them as gifts if people don't buy them, because they have to read this story of these ladies that I know that have done. I mean, and not everybody's had these happy stories like me. We've been through a lot, but we've overcome a lot to achieve what we have, and we're still achieving. And that's the bottom line. We didn't stop. We're still achieving all these goals, and we can teach you how to do this. And you can, and find your own way to achieve. In other words, you're not going to do it the same way we did it, but you can learn from our mistakes of what not to do, and then try to find ways to help yourself to achieve what you want to do. And it's so important. Women need to know how to do this.
I think those are great closing comments. I think that this is only the beginning of many projects and ways that we're going to share your story, because you, just by speaking, inspire and motivate people. Forget all the titles, forget everything. Just listening to you and where you are from where you've been through, that alone is enough to inspire and motivate people. So I'm not a woman, but I sure am inspired and motivated.
Well,
Dr.
as
Randy,
long as
thank you so much. Thank you so much for being in the show today. I wish we have more time.
Yes,
but
yes,
unfortunately, we are running out of time. This is just the first interview. We're going to do more interviews with Dr. Randy.
But now we're going to have her in our magazine.
She's going to be also now the editor for the magazine. Yes, I love it.
Yes, that's a great vehicle for us too, because a lot of people are reading the magazine. We have over 50,000 subscribers worldwide. So with your help, we'd be all over the planet. We'd be galactic.
Galactic. I like that.
Well, I'm here to support you too, because I think you're amazing. I love what you're doing. And like I said, I just speak from my heart, and I know you all do too. And that's what it's all about. If we share our heart with people, that's what you should do. You know what I'm saying? That's what God wants us to do, is to share and help others. And that's what we do, right? So thank you so much for having me on your show today. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Feel much better.
Yes, you look great. You're doing good. So awesome. Yes, yes.
Bye.
I appreciate you. Bye-bye. Okay.
That's amazing, Dr. Randy. Is all the positive energy. You can feel incredible. It. That's very important. When you talk to somebody, you need to feel that connection.
I was touched.
Tremendous. But we also have another special guest today.
Yes, we do.
She is actually in London.
London, England, you mean?
London, England, yes.
Wow, let's welcome her.
Let's welcome our guest, Adaobi Onyekweli. Welcome.
Hello everyone.
You look wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Happy to have you with us. So tell us, how's the weather in London today?
Oh, London is a bit chilly.
Oh, it is.
Yesterday was sunny, but today is a bit chilly.
Great. Well, we're so happy to have you with us. We're thrilled to know your story, so you can inspire and motivate people around the globe, because we think very highly of you.
Thank you very much.
So go ahead and tell us about your organization.
My organization is called Put You First. Interesting. I actually formed this organization when I came out of coma and realized that I am still alive, that I'm not dead.
Wow.
The organization is meant to support women and some men that have suffered from serious illnesses or heart attack or cardiac arrest.
Wow.
The reason being that, they don't get support. I didn't get support. I had all sorts of support, but not the essential ones. So I had to form the organization so that we can support them. It's actually a registered social enterprise in London.
Wow, that's wonderful. We need something like that. I haven't heard of that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Adobe, you mentioned something about your health that you were going through a coma. Tell us more about what happened, what your challenges were. Tell us more about your life.
My life really from the beginning or just the coma?
Oh, well,
The coma. Let's start with the coma.
okay.
Yeah, in 2017, I I was able to live past my expiration date. You know, when you buy products in the shop, they expire. Everything has an expiration date. So I believe that Christmas Christmas Eve 2017 was meant to be my expiration date, but I didn't expire because God stepped in to support me. After being because it was Christmas and I just thought, okay, I am going to have the best Christmas. I wanted the best. I bought a big turkey, everything special, but I didn't know that I wasn't going to see the end of that day because that was the day that I actually died. I fainted, and the ambulance. My kids were home on holiday that day. They closed from school, and the ambulance came. When the ambulance came, I was already dead for 8 minutes. So
Unbelievable
can you
miracle.
imagine? Yeah, if my kids were in school, nobody would have because I didn't have any symptom. I was fine. I actually drove. I parked my car before I started doing the Christmas tree. So it just shows that sometimes we don't know what is round the corner. So that was why I decided that I started to look at my life, and I found out that all my life I have been serving people, putting people before me. So that's why I gave my company, put you first. Because when you put yourself first, you can actually help others.
So what did they find out was wrong?
Oh, yes, they found out that I had suffered 5 cardiac arrests. My heart flatlined 5 times. And then my I had all my organs failed, and my liver burst open, and I had sepsis in my biliary sepsis, and I had 9 blood clots. I was brain dead. So they told my family that it's best to switch off my life support because I won't be of use to anybody. And my family were actually scared. Nobody wanted to sign the death certificate to turn off the life support. That was what kept me because people were like shocked.
That's incredible.
Wow.
What a story.
You mentioned that you were actually almost dead for 7, 8 minutes. Do you remember anything during that time?
All I remembered was going to my Christmas tree to put the bells on the Christmas tree. But incidentally, when I was in the hospital, I didn't know I was there. I was flying all around the world under the aeroplane. I was attached by a string on the aeroplane, and I was so happy. I have never been this happy in my life. Because before the incident, I was feeling that life's not fair. I'm actually thinking of what is the point of life? Maybe I might as well kill myself. Because I've never been happy. But when I heard when they said they should turn off the life support. When I heard that, I didn't want to die. Because I've been so sad before, but the happiness I found there, I was going through the tunnel and I saw my daddy that had been dead for 40 years. My father was there, dragging me away from the tunnel. I said, no, I wanted to go there. Then my grandparents, all the people that have died before, they were there. So I had to stand, they kept me still. So I think sometimes our ancestors come to save us. There's God, but the ancestors, they actually look down and make sure that we are safe.
Wow,
That is
unbelievable. It looks like a
amazing.
dream,
Yeah.
really, but
It happened.
it happened. Wow. And
That
now
make an
that you mention all
incredible
this,
movie. That would make an incredible movie.
I was gonna say you read my mind about the movies because actually,
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago, I was watching with my kids a movie that's called Soul, and it tells you everything about what you just described about somebody that is not ready to die and is fighting in the process. So that person doesn't want to go to that tunnel, and like you said, people is pulling him. Well, it was a guy in this movie. He's pulling him to the tunnel, but he's fighting and he doesn't want to go because he's not ready. And that's exactly what you described. Unbelievable. But it's an incredible story, Adobe, that you need to share with everybody.
Yes, the world needs to hear it.
Yeah. Also, what that did for me was that it enabled me to take time out, because the time I didn't know I was in coma for 2 months. And incredibly, I had the ventilator. I was on ventilator for 2 months and 1 week. So when I heard that the COVID people died when they're in ventilator, I'm just thinking, isn't God wonderful? Because if I've been sick during the COVID, they will just take the ventilator out after a week for somebody else. So you see, it matters when you get sick, what time you get sick, what period, and what country. I am from Nigeria. If it happened while I was in Nigeria, I wouldn't be here today. So you see, God actually looks after us in a miraculous way.
So you were in England when this happened.
Yes, I was in my home in London.
Wow.
Amazing. Well, you're an inspiration. You're amazing. We're so happy to have you today. Incredible.
Yeah, and I also had some tips to share with people,
Yes,
because
please.
sometimes people go through their life. Like today, I'm a reinvention coach. I show, because before the incident, I was thinking the way I am is the way that God created me. I was resentful. I wanted to do something, but I couldn't do. I didn't know I could reinvent myself successfully. So when I was in hospital and the doctors came, I thought they were the aliens, because the people in my coma, they look different. They had this plasma, they look like plasma people. So I was so happy with them. I didn't even know that I had kids. I didn't even know that I was married. So when I woke up and saw the real humans, I thought they were the aliens and I was running away from them. So, but when I realized that I was in a coma and I've woken up and I was thinking of my clothes, because I had so many things in boxes, which I was saving to wear. So that was when I said, no, I have to change. Now I don't keep anything again. I wear things as soon as I buy them, so that who knows how long we have to live on earth. And because of that, I wrote a book. My book tells my story. And in that book, I left a lot of tips. Because important thing in the book is that if you are struggling with changing, sometimes God speaks to you differently. Some people, um they go to mountain, or they go to one of those tribes in Cambodia. Even the Apple guy, Steve Jobs, he got his inspiration after going away to one place where they pray a lot. Some people, they get it by probably sickness, and some people, they get it by somebody coming to support them. But if you don't listen, God will come to you differently. I think mine came in the form of a serious illness, and that was when I started to progress in my life.
Wow.
What a story. I mean, we're speechless just listening to you. You are
Thank
amazing.
you.
But Adobe, like you said, is also very inspirational for a lot of people that, in so many cases, don't appreciate what they have. There's people that is always complaining about things and not looking at the positive things that they have. And unfortunately, until something happened to them, then they realize what they have and they don't appreciate.
That's right.
So definitely what you are doing now, the all this movement, because it's really a movement, is very important worldwide, not just
Yes.
for women, but for everybody.
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 Yeah.
And we congratulate you. And that's why also we honor you as a award recipient for our network, the 100 Successful Women in Business. But also you are being featured in the Amazon book. What can you
Yes.
tell people why they should get the book in June?
Why people should get the book? Because there are lots of inspirational ladies, 100 inspirational women that have written in that book. What I've learned is that some of the things that I didn't know, like reinvention, because I didn't, what you know, you don't know. What you don't know, you don't know. So
Yes.
I had to suffer to be nearly dead to now start learning. So I think if people buy the book, they should get it so that they don't have to spend 30 years. The book has experiences of people who have started their businesses, and experience of people who had made mistakes, and even my own experiences of my life, my journey. I share in the book things I've been through and how people can get my experience of 30 years in just within 1 hour of reading the book, because that is there's no need waiting to experience setbacks or loss when you can get a shortcut where you don't have to spend so much money. Because what's in the book, if they have to go for conferences, they will pay like up to like 300,000,
That's
three
true.
thousand pounds, and they also need a mentor, and that's about going to $10,000. But by getting the book, you are saving yourself money and also
Well,
preventing mistakes and
thank
regrets. Most regrets are on the deathbed. You don't want to be on your deathbed, not knowing what you should have gone to do. Because that was what I felt when I heard that they wanted to switch off my life support. I never want to
you.
regret anything in life again.
Excellent. Well, that's an incredible lesson for everybody, especially through this COVID and everything else. People like you are going to help many, many people have a better life and a better future and appreciate things more. So we appreciate your time. We're going to continue to speak to you because many more people need to know your story, but they can read about it in the woman book. So,
Uh-huh.
so we appreciate you. We really are happy to know you and to call you our friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Adobe. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being here today. And thank you for interviewing me. Thank you.
My pleasure. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
What an incredible story.
That's it.
When she was talking about all these
It
things that
doesn't
happened to
seem
her, I
real.
was so,
It doesn't even look real. I mean, it's just
like you said, like a movie.
cardiac arrest.
But
Her
all the
brain
things that are
stopped.
happening now, I mean, the pandemic is also like a movie.
It is. It is a movie. We saw movies and we never thought that would ever happen. So, well, we're very happy to have incredible people in our lives to teach us and to help other people. So, congratulations, Maria, for this great
But
success stories.
I was going to say before we leave that behind a sad story, there is something very positive because all these ladies are accomplishing things in life.
Yes.
They are helping people worldwide. They are contributing to the community. And that is so important because they are changing lives.
Yes, yes, and they're impacting the world in a positive way. So this is a very, very good vehicle, the success stories. And we love to invite other people to join us in success stories. Just visit our website and contact us, and we will see if your story can impact other lives.
Thank you so much for being part of this Success Story Show,
Very
which
good.
is a series that we present every Friday. See you next Friday. Have a nice weekend. And thank you, Dr. Macaca. I know that she was making some comments through the chat, and also
This is
Angela
awesome.
Posilico. Thank you, and see you next week.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye now.